Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna continue posting videos, but it might take me a couple breaks, because I have to focus on schoolwork and whatnot. Yes, I have said this before, I am a student. School comes first. Right now, it's okay to post, because I'm okay on whatnot. But if I need to take a break, I'm gonna take a break on it. So, today's video, I've decided, I recorded this a while ago. I just didn't feel that great about posting it. But today I'm filming a video about our our whole touch lineup. So I have almost all of the touches. We'll raise you up. Go up. Lock y'all in. I have almost every single touch in this group. There's two more I have to get, but then I'll have every single touch. But today we're just going to talk about the touch in general and pros and cons about them, because touches, there's not a whole lot to talk about compared to our lovely 7th gen. So, our touches. So this is a 1st generation touch, 2nd generation, 4th generation, 5th, and 6th. So all I have left is to put the 3rd generation, which is going to go right in between these two, and then a 7th gen. But the 7th gens are so new, it's almost impossible to find a really good deal on them without spending too much money. So we're going to talk about design aspects first. This is our lovely 1st generation. It has very similar styles to our 7th gen classics and 6th gen classics, because this came out alongside the 7th gen. And it was a way for people to get into the way of a touchscreen. Since the iPhone was so highly priced, this was more reasonable. So it looks a lot like it, or looks a lot like a 7th gen with the graphite color here, the back and whatnot. It looks a lot like it. So this one actually, it does work. Its battery died. It is the seller believes it to have been a display model. There we are. So it does work. The battery is tired. Now, until I learn how to solder, I really can't do anything about that. I have to learn how to solder first, because we'll get into why that is later. So that's the 1st gen. We are going to set that off to the side and let it charge. Then we're on to our 2nd gen. The 2nd gen is where the design aspects really changed. Everything was more rounded. It took its own design out of compared to the older one. You saw how it's kind of similar in ways to our 7th gen. This one is completely different. So this one I haven't charged in months, and it's still going on the same charge. Although the battery is a little low, so I'll probably put it on the charger here in a bit. Oh, our lovely 1st gen's booting up. So this one, the 2nd gen, the design aspects really didn't change much between the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th gen. Our 1st gen, you can tell, has battery, headphone jack down here, and then that's it. And then your power button up here. That's it, no volume. Now with the 2nd gen, we have volume rockers, headphone jack, and that. So this is like the classic touch. But here we go. It woke up. It basically the same OS in a way. Subtle differences, but it's there. But it works. This one I actually, since it is so like responsive and whatnot, and it is holding a charge like incredibly well, I actually put music on this for getting. Actually, I have to put more music on it. So if I go to more albums. Y'all can see I've loaded this thing up with music. It is full of music. Okay, so it's full of music. The design aspects of these things changed quite a bit. We finally got a volume rocker on it. So volume rockers on the side compared to not having one. But those are the main design aspects that changed for these things. 3rd gen came along. The big difference was that they put a camera in here or in this corner. They put a camera in this corner. The black circle is always used for antennas. Since they're so thin, they can't put antenna bands on them like our phones do. So the 3rd gen had a camera, and that's really processor improvement and whatnot. That's the only real thing. Now our 4th gen here is still going as well. But our 4th gen, it became a little bit taller, quite a bit thinner, but it has a front-facing camera now. So this does not have a camera, this does. And I like this OS quite a bit better, actually. I don't know if this thing has wallpapers in it, but oh, it does. We'll set it to that, because, yeah. So with this OS, you could actually put photos in the background and whatnot. In this one, you could not. So on these guys, it's only your lock screen that ends up having it. On these guys, it's on the lock screen and your home button. But these guys are still in both functioning order. I haven't put music on this guy just because its battery is also a little tired. But design aspects, it wasn't one bar, it's 2 individual buttons. You have your camera. This was the only pod that actually didn't have your ring. Power button is on the opposite side. Headphone jack and 30 pin. So keep that there. Now this is where our touches get very fun. This guy is 5th generation touch. So we'll zoom out for y'all. Unlock this. Go out. Right there. This is a 5th generation touch. This should still does not have battery. This 5th generation touch, I'm surprised is even working. I might backtrack or install an older OS in this thing, because it kind of chugs on iOS 9. Like I say chugs, it chugs on iOS 9. But design aspects wise, it changed a lot. We still have our front facing camera up here. It got much taller, thinner by quite a bit. And this guy, I don't remember what storage it has, but we have a bigger camera here. We get our antenna oval back, and then we get this lanyard thing, which is actually a thing where Apple sold a lanyard accessory so you could set it on your wrist. It's charging. If it wakes up, you'll see what I mean by it chugs along. Now for our 6th generation. 6th generation, the design didn't change much. Sorry guys, I just have to adjust there. 6th generation design didn't change much. It's basically the same thing. The black is slightly, ever so slightly darker. Same design up here, same kind of button layout, same kind of port layout down here. They just removed the lanyard because the sales for these things didn't go high enough. So that's a 5th generation, 6th generation, and then you have the 7th generation, which I don't have, but it basically looks identical to this guy here. Same kind of thing, it's just much newer and more up to date. Now, the thing about these touches is, in the iPod community, they are great for a lot of things. They are touchscreen, hence the name Touch. But they basically have no upgradability. When you try and upgrade these things, there are 5 major or three major components that are soldered to the back of the motherboard. I can show you on a 5th generation motherboard. Things are kind of covered up on there, and here's the 6th gen. So on the 6th gen here, right here is your dock connector, so that's your lightning jack and headphone jack and speaker. That's where that solders onto. So that's a soldering connection. I ripped it off so you can see the plates. Here is your backlight soldering position. So you have to solder the backlight for the LCD, and right here is your battery LCD or soldering connectors. So this is the motherboard. I took off all the shielding and whatnot. I kind of like it. I'm doing a shadow box project. Over the years. I'm going to collect all the iPod Touch motherboards, classic motherboards, shuffle motherboards, and nano motherboards, and put them all in a shadow box and hang it on my wall. That's what my plan is eventually. But that's an easy thing. But since these things have soldered backlights, the screens are removable by the connectors up front, because y'all can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors there, and then way over here, come on camera, sorry guys, that is your Wi-Fi connector. So there are removable things, but they are very difficult to get into. Very difficult. I can show y'all. If y'all are squeamish with things being dismantled improperly, you won't like this. So this is the screen that came off that Touch. And then there's the connectors. But the big cons about these, they are non-upgradable really. You can't do much to them. You have to solder quite a big major components, and that's really it for this guy. So they are great for new devices and whatnot, but otherwise they are not the best touch. But that's basically it today's video. I didn't go too long. My battery's about to die anyways, but today's just kind of a short video explaining the touches. Next week I'll go into more of the touches, or more pros and cons about them and whatnot, but that's today's video. Stay tuned to next week. If I post a video next week, it'll be great because I have off next Tuesday. Woohoo! So I'll post a video next week about the pros and cons, proper pros and cons about the Touch, and see y'all next week.